What's up? Can I say it? Just once?
Only if you wish to suffer.
Get over here!
Hello guys and welcome to another MK Mobile character review, today featuring the one and only MK11 Scorpion. As usual guys, please note the date when this video has been recorded because a lot of things may have changed since then, and if you're not familiar with the matrix I'm using in order to evaluate characters, you can find it on the top right corner of the screen. So without any further ado, let us put MK11 Scorpion to the test. MK11 Scorpion guys was released in the wake of update 2.0 on the 27th of February 2019. He was never part of the old store and he was always obtainable through specific packs. With that said, let's take a look at his stats. His attack is 58,590, which is the 6th highest in the game. The hit points, they are 111,360, they rank 5th. The toughness is 55,755, and this is the 3rd highest in the game. And the recovery is 54,810, which is the 5th highest in Mortal Kombat Mobile. The power generation is 130%. As you can see, MK11 Scorpion is almost everywhere in top 5 highest stats, so really great achievement. At the end of the day, he's going to get the solid 26.2 out of 28 possible points for his stats. We are talking about MK11 Scorpion Special 1, which basically means that we are talking about the bread and butter of this character. Basically, his ability is amazing for the sole reason that it synergizes amazingly good with his basic attacks. And we all know that MK11 Scorpion is the perfect fighter, mainly because the synergy between his basic attacks and his special one. So without any further ado, let's get into details. First thing first, this ability can be completely blocked with the opponent. It has eventual cripple if you manage to score more than 90% of the minigame, which isn't that hard as long as you're not lagging, of course. In addition, the special attack can be cast from distance. It is lethal, it consists of up to 4 mini hits, and it has the single tap rectangle as minigame. When it comes to damage, the minimum damage of the ability is 22,234, which is the 7th highest in the game, and the maximum damage is 44,469, which is the 6th highest in MK Mobile. Once again, the special attack can be blocked by the enemy, it has eventual cripple as debuff, it can be cast from distance, it is lethal, it consists of 4 mini hits, and it has a single tap rectangle as minigame. So for his special one, for his amazing special one, MK11 Scorpion is going to get 9.8 out of 13 possible points. After we established that special one of Scorpion is great, now we have to establish that his special 2 sucks, not because it is extremely bad, but because you will never use it. You will simply never use it because his special one is so much better. So let's get into details. First thing first, this ability can be completely blocked by the opponent, like his special one. It has bleed as debuff. It can be cast from distance without issues. It is lethal, it consists of 5 mini hits, and it has the single tap circle as minigame. When it comes to damage, the minimum damage of the ability is 55,586, which is the 6th highest in the game, and the maximum damage is 111,174, which ranks the 3rd highest in MK Mobile. Really good performance when it comes to damage. Once again, the special attack can be completely blocked by the opponent, it has bleed as debuff, it can be cast from distance, it is lethal, it consists of 5 mini hits, and it has the single tap circle as minigame. In my opinion, the biggest problem with this special attack is not the damage, it is not the debuff, it is not the fact that it can be completely blocked. The biggest problem is the fact that after you successfully perform special 2, you'll be left vulnerable for counterattack, and in a lot of cases this might get you killed. But anyways, for his special 2, Scorpion is going to get the solid 13.8 out of 19 possible points. The fatal blow of MK11 Scorpion, guys, is called Get Over Here. And not long ago, this ability would completely fail if cast from distance, but now this is no longer the case. Even at long range, if you try to do his third special ability, it will connect, and that's wonderful. In addition, what you need to know about it is that it has fire as debuff, but this fire will affect the entire enemy team, and that's really awesome. When it comes to damage, the damage of the X-Ray is 133,409, which is the 9th highest in the game. Once again, the special attack can be cast from distance, and it has fire as debuff. So for his fatal blow, MK11 Scorpion is going to get 3.7 out of 4 possible points, and the total amount of points he gets for his special attacks adds up to 27.3 out of 36 possible. Now, this part of the review is very important, but it won't take long, because whatever I say about the basic attacks of MK11 Scorpion, it will never be enough, because they are close to perfect. They are almost perfect. The only tiny flaw that I find is that MK11 Scorpion kind of sucks without Block Breaker. This is not a huge drawback, but it is still something. And this is really valid for survival mode. The more characters you have that don't require Block Breaker, the more Block Breaker pieces you can save to give to characters who do require Block Breaker, such as MK11 Scorpion. But once again, it's not really a big deal, and I won't be deducting a lot because of that. With this out of the way, MK11 Scorpion basic attacks are perfect. You do any of his combo enders, you follow by special one, and basically this is the recipe for success. You can do that forever, nobody can interrupt you. His basics are simply perfect. On top of that, he has high lethal chance on his punches thanks to his passive, and on top of that he can set the enemies on fire with his combo enders. Really great character, probably the best fighter in the game. If given a block breaker, he's simply unstoppable. And yeah, even at day one, you definitely have at least one piece that will give you a chance to break the enemy block. And basically, this is all you need. Once you give this thing to Scorpion, he becomes absolutely unstoppable. Definitely, he deserves the solid 9.9 out of 10 possible points for his basic attacks. Alright guys, it is time to talk about MK11 Scorpion passive, which is called Devouring Flames. I know, I realize that a lot of you are pretty familiar with this passive, but I feel that I have to just quote what this passive does, because it's really important. After all, it's one of the best passives in the game. I quote, apply fire for 3 opponents for 9 seconds at the start of the match, when MK11 Scorpion tags in. And by the way, the fire dots can stack. And when they say 3 opponents, they mean the entire enemy team. MK11 teammates have 25% chance for lethal blows on basic attacks. And by the way, this also includes MK11 Scorpion himself. So let's dissect this passive, and let's start with the first part, the fire. Actually, this is my favorite part, and yeah, I'm not joking, because a lot of people are playing MK11 Scorpion for his basic attacks, and I can understand that, believe me. But the first part of his passive is really great as well. First thing first, it can save you against teams that have X-rays ready. Of course, you shouldn't be facing classic Liu Kang and stuff like this, but if you're facing any other team that is not immune to power drain, then having MK11 Scorpion is so useful, because they will be set on fire, which won't just deal damage to them, but it will power drain them in the process, and this is all you need. In addition, you can form really fun teams with MK11 Scorpion if you focus just on the first part of his passive. Currently you're seeing footage of me using the real deal team. This is Ravenous, Melina, Assassin, Skeleton, MK11 Scorpion, and you can see MK11 Scorpion in a completely different light. He just tags in, he applies tons of fire that is really powerful thanks to Melina, and he destroys everybody. It is so fun to use that team. In addition, regardless of the fusion, MK11 Scorpion can be used to defeat a lot of difficult stages in towers, only because he sets the entire enemy team on fire, which basically means that you can kill difficult opponents while they are tagged out. Technically you cannot kill them, but you can just get them so low that if you punch them once they will die. So if I have to summarize, the first part of his passive is simply gorgeous. The second part of his passive is very useful as well. Now, when it comes to its supportive value, I would say that it is very low, because MK11 Scorpion basically is the perfect fighter. You don't have to take him out at all. But there are certain exceptions. For example, if your MK11 Scorpion is low fusion and you have very high fusion MK11J, then yes, Scorpion is going to be a useful support. But once you have him at healthy fusion, then you don't care about him being support to anybody. He's going to be your main fighter in every single game. So, with all that said, guys, I'll be giving MK11 Scorpion 1 extra point for his passive, so he'll be getting 21 out of 20 possible points, for the simple reason that his passive is so good that it can work in so many ways. I really think that this thing changed the game completely. Comparing MK11 Scorpion with so many new characters, this guy is a total boss, and his passive is so great, even if you agree to the fact that he's not the best support in the game. In addition, he is a dual class character, so I'll be giving him 2 points for classes and 1 point for tagging attack, because if he's below certain percentage of health, he's going to set the enemies on fire with a great kick on tag in. I really feel that this part of the video is going to be the easiest, because MK11 Scorpion has excellent stats. He has very good special attacks, amazing basic attacks, incredibly useful passive. All in all, he is the perfect character. Probably, if I have to be harsh on him, let's try to figure out which is his main weakness. Of course, the first thing that comes to mind is that both of his special attacks can be blocked. Also, he isn't really that useful in survival mode if he is low fusion, because as a support he isn't really the best support in the game, let's call it this way. And basically that's it. I mean, he's just perfect. What can I say? I actually gave him 85 points the previous time when I did this review, and I said to myself, you know what? It is about time to do another review, because when I saw his score I was like, he kinda deserves more. And this is the reason why I'll be giving him 4 out of my 3 subjective points. I'm giving him 1 extra point, because if I have to be as objective as possible, this guy is really awesome and he appeals to me a lot, especially in the real deal team. And the only thing that I dislike about him is the fact that he's so good and so easy to play with that a lot of characters try to play the same way they play MK11 Scorpion, so many other characters, and when they fail to achieve greatness, they simply conclude that the other characters are bad, which is not the case. The case actually is that the other characters should be played differently. But once again, Scorpion is so easy to play, so effective to play, that every single character that you play after him feels kind of weaker. Anyways, with my 4 subjective points, MK11 Scorpion is going to score 92.4, and we can label him as a perfect character. On our current rankings, he's just above Black Dragon Cabal and just below Classic Liu Kang, but trust me, if I have to do review again of Black Dragon Cabal, he's definitely not ranking as high, because his passive now, after the introduction of survival mode, is not that useful compared to what it used to be in the past. Anyways, MK11 Scorpion is a perfect character, currently losing only to Classic Liu Kang. So, it will be interesting to find out what do you think about it. Alright guys, it is time to check what was your vote. What did you decide on MK11 Scorpion? And before we get there, again, I just want to let you know that if you want to vote for the future reviews, if you want to take part in it, you can join our Discord server. You're going to find a link to it in the description of this video. All you have to do is click on it, and from there on you will get to our Discord server, and once you are in, you can vote for a lot of topics. Anyways, when it comes to your votes on MK11 Scorpion, 173 people voted, which is a new record all-time high, with the most common vote being 10, 123 people, and the least common vote was 7, Only one person, and there was not a single troll vote. I have never seen such thing before, with the average score of 9.52. Basically, this means that, according to the matrix, MK11 Scorpion scored 92.4, which is really good, which means that he's a perfect character. And according to you, he scored 95.2, which basically means again that he's a perfect character for you. In this particular case, you and the matrix both agree on the fact that MK11 Scorpion is a great character. And I also agree with that. I tend to agree with you even more because he almost have no flaws. The only flaw, once again, is that if he's in low fusion, you cannot really use him a lot in survival mode. Basically, that's it. Apart from that, I cannot think of any other flaw. And of course, on your current standings, MK11 Scorpion is the champion with those unreachable for now 95.2 points. Whether there will be a character to beat that, we don't know yet. So once again, MK11 Scorpion definitely deserves to be called a perfect character. MK11 Scorpion can be a decent opener, but I prefer not to use him as a starter for the simple reason that the match starts, he sets the enemies on fire, then what I do is I immediately tag him in and he sets the entire enemy team on fire again. And that's really useful in a lot of cases. Not only you're going to be doing a lot of damage to them, but you'll be also power draining them. When it comes to the characters he counters, I would say that he is good against any character, but I cannot think of any specific card that he hard counters. In general, if the enemy team is running, let's say, some kind of a composition with a lot of power, then MK11 Scorpion will be the perfect counter because he is going to set the team on fire, which means that he will be draining power. And if they have the X-rays ready, this will no longer be the case. And I would add to that he's kind of weak against MK11 Jade. For one thing, he's going to set her on fire and she loves that. And if he doesn't have enough power to start with Special 1, she might evade his basic attacks and then you know what's going to happen. Also, he's kind of bad against two of the Liu Kanes, Fire God Liu Kane and Classic Liu Kane, for the obvious reasons that they love fire. For MK11 Scorpion, I follow 3 rules in terms of equipment. The first rule is you should never ever use Blazes Life Force on MK11 Scorpion, because if you want to do that, this basically means that MK11 Scorpion must be your starter, otherwise this Blazes Life Force will be 95% useless. The thing is though, that if you want to use his fire, if you want to rely on the fact that he sets the entire enemy team on fire, then having him as your starter is the worst idea, because you're missing the opportunity to tag him immediately after the match opens. Thus, you can set the enemy on fire twice, and you cannot do that if he's your starter. So no, please do not use Blazes Life Force on him. Second thing, you shouldn't use Kunai on him. Please guys, he doesn't have any stun, so Kunai is not really the best equipment on him. And the third rule is that he requires Block Breaker. What is going to be the Block Breaker, it is totally up to you. Another thing that you have to consider every time when you're wondering what to give him MK11 Scorpion is that he doesn't really require a lot of starting power. So for example, the Rat Hammer, I'm not saying it's bad on him, but if you don't have a lot of options and you want to do as many runs in survival as possible, better give Rat Hammer to somebody else, because MK11 Scorpion requires his Special 1 to work, so a lot of starting power isn't really amazingly great on him. And when it comes to the teams, it is easy. Basically, MK11 Scorpion can be in an MK11 team, like any MK11 team, but in general I would use him together with Sub-Zero, probably Jade or Cabal, it doesn't matter. The point is you need one great fighter, which is MK11 Scorpion, and you need 2 other cards to support him. This is the thing. Also, he works incredibly good in the Real Deal team. This is Ravenous, Melina, Scorpion and Assassin Scarlet, and this team is all about dots. Trust me guys, you have to try this team, it is amazingly fun. And the third thing that, the third type of team is usually I would pair Classic Liu Kane, Hellspawn Scorpion and MK11 Scorpion, one of the strongest teams in the game. This team cannot really lose, cannot lose. So basically this is it, MK11 Scorpion is a one-man army. The moment you are able to support him, then you have a good team for him. Okay guys, MK11 Scorpion. What do you think about him? Do you like him? Do you dislike him? Please let me know in the comments. Once again, he scored the amazing 92.4 and we labeled him as a perfect character. As usual guys, if you want to see more reviews, you can find a playlist on the top right corner of the screen. See you next time guys. Take care and stay safe.
No one fears you anymore. Outstanding.